New this morning at 5:31. Take a look at this. An armed and dangerous shooter could be on the run in Roswell. That's what police there say after two people got shot overnight. The Plains Valley Online News says the shots rang out about 10:30 here near East Alameda and Beach Street. People there tell the paper they heard 6 gunshots and then saw some kind of a vehicle taking off. Well, just blocks away, police are looking at a truck that crashed into a yard, and they say they have not caught the shooter. We'll have updates on this later today here on News 13 and anytime at KRQE.com.
And Albuquerque police are trying to find out what happened to a man in the southwest part of town after he was found seriously hurt. Last night, officers were called to Shire Street. The man was taken to the hospital where his condition is said to be critical. His name and the nature of his injuries are not being released. We'll keep you updated as we get more information. A shocking ad on Craigslist has New Mexico authorities investigating.
Yeah, shocking to say the least here. It's an ad that offers 2 children the same way that people try to give away pets. Now investigators are worried that kids could really be in danger because of this. Agents with the State Attorney General's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force said they got a tip about this from someone down in Las Cruces. And they say the ad said the kids were in great condition and toilet trained. Now the agents are working to find whoever posted this ad, and they say they have seen ads like this before.
It is concerning because in many of our cases, we're finding 1 out of 3 warrants that we're serving that we do find live victims.
Right, Agent Anthony Maez there says child porn makes up a majority of the cases that the agents investigate. Now, for more information on how to report one of these crimes, go to our website at krqe.com and click on links. And police in Albuquerque need your help in finding medals stolen from a World War II veteran. Who would do this? Investigators say the medals were taken from Roy Hopper's home while he was in the hospital after he broke his hip. They say the medals could turn up on Craigslist, at pawn shops, or even antique stores. Hopper's name is inscribed on the back of all the medals. If you have any information about this, police call police. So you know Mr. Hopper is 89 years old. He served during the Normandy invasion before being captured by the Germans. He even spent 9 months as a prisoner of war. Please try to help him get those medals back. Liz.
The Albuquerque Public School District needs more teachers. More than 230 have retired this year and 340 have quit. The teachers union blames the controversial state teacher evaluation system, but the public education department says that the evaluations are useful and effective. APS doesn't have a specific reason why so many teachers are leaving, but it says that it will probably hold a job fair this summer. We'll keep you posted if and when that happens. In less than a week, we will know which Democrat will be taking on Governor Susana Martinez. Out of the 5 candidates on the ballot, political science professor Gabe Sanchez tells us that the race is between 3. His picks are Attorney General Gary King, businessman Alan Weber, and former government official Lawrence Real. An Albuquerque Journal poll from over the weekend actually showed that King was in the lead, but our political science professor expert says Real, not King, would give Governor Martinez a run for her money.
Well, you know, the obvious factor is he's the Hispanic candidate among all those on the Democratic side that has the greatest shot of emerging victorious during the primary. I think that neutralizes some of the governor's ability to attract, you know, moderate Democrats who are Hispanic in her direction.
Well, no matter who wins, the Democratic pick will be the big underdog against Martinez.
Well, even if you're registered to vote, it does not necessarily mean you can cast your ballot in this year's primary. It's all about the party. I'm not talking about a fun party necessarily. New numbers from the Secretary of State's office show voter registration is up almost 7% from last primary election. Independents make up the fastest growing group of voters here. In fact, New Mexico has seen a 16% spike in independent and minor party voters since 2012. Democratic and Republican voters rose just 4%. But those independent voters, you are not allowed to vote in the state's primary elections. They are done by party. All right, this morning, not just one, but 2 groups say police officers and sheriff's deputies have better things to do than go after people smoking pot. So they're now filing petitions to let you, the voter, decide if the punishment for marijuana users should be reduced. This is specifically in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. If voters pass the plan, people caught with less than 1 ounce of marijuana and paraphernalia in Albuquerque and Santa Fe would not face any jail time, and they would pay just a $25 fine. It's less than a speeding ticket. Currently, people caught in Albuquerque face up to a $50 fine and up to 15 days in jail. For the first offense, it's a $500 fine and 90 days in jail, up to that when they're caught again. Santa Fe's rules are similar. The groups are Progress Now and New Mexico Drug Policy Action. They're behind the push to change this law.
What it's going to do is that instead of creating a problem where somebody might go to jail for being a low-level recreational marijuana user, they can pay a fine, just like a traffic ticket, and move on about their life. And they don't have to worry about that hanging over their head forever when it comes to getting scholarships or getting a job, and or that we're going to save millions of dollars in public safety money so that our officers can focus on more serious crimes.
Our city councilors say the groups will need to collect about 20,000 signatures to get the plan on the ballot in Albuquerque alone. The groups say they're going to work through the summer to go ahead and get that done. I'm pretty sure we'll keep you updated on this, Liz.
The Defense Department thinks it can resolve the concerns about a power line on White Sands Missile Range by having it run 5 miles underground. It's called the Sunzia Power Line. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says burying the line in certain areas would end its threat to low-altitude test flights. The $2 billion power line will carry electricity from New Mexico solar and wind sites to Western markets.
All the folks in southeast New Mexico who were evacuated because of a bioplant fire are back home this morning. Hazmat crews are trying to pinpoint what chemicals were released after this big fire and a lot of thick black smoke broke out yesterday in Anthony, New Mexico. It's just south of Las Cruces. 1,000 people living in a half-mile radius of that plant were evacuated to a high school because of the threat of blast from all the chemicals inside. They were allowed back home last night. Investigators have not said what started that fire. Then Governor Susana Martinez, along with U.S. Senators Tom Udall and Martin Heinrich, both from here in New Mexico, are among many expected to be at the grand opening of a new rail facility. Union Pacific's new site will bring up to 600 jobs to Santa Teresa. The new site is west of the airport. It'll be permanently based once it reaches full capacity. That is in 2025.